welcome to the Music Lens podcast with me, Alex Allegra.
And Katie Fee.
You're going to have to watch if levels are weird at all because I can't see the laptop
can't see
anymore.
Stuff. I think it's good. I mean, it's probably the normal level of tiny
Hopefully
waves,
you can
but
see
still
we've
good
redecorated
waves.
a little. You don't know, but we rearranged the whole studio. Well, I did.
Yeah.
Because I wanted our guests to have nice appearances. And we have some cool guests coming on. And so I was like, we need to just make it feel a little bit more open to the public than it currently was. It was
Have
very
a
much
more comfortable chair so you're not like
very much
stuck.
my office, and the Papa's chair was cute and it matched the yellow couch, but people were having a hard time getting in and out of it. So we got a different chair for people. We got some decorations on the wall. Eventually, maybe we'll get an LED sign, but those are kind of expensive, and some wallpaper to jazz it up a little bit. But for now, at least it feels a lot. It feels like a good change in here, you know?
Yeah.
Got new energy. Your braids look cute, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know what I am fighting, so I hope I don't sound too congested. I think it's just allergies, but it's like the worst where it's like your throat's just a little scratchy all the time and you're just a little congested.
Okay.
And there's not much to do about it.
Yeah.
So I popped some Mucinex and I actually feel a lot better already, so we're gonna hope that does some things. No, that's what I've been doing all weekend. But it was 4th of July, 250 years of America. America. How was your 4th of July?
Yeah, that's good. I did a little content outside, and then I was gonna like play guitar outside and stuff, and I was like, I'm sweating, I'm going back inside. And then later at night I went out and looked at the fireworks, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the fireworks were so loud.
It was like nonstop by my house.
So loud. And it started storming like most of the way through, like a lot of the fireworks shows in like the neighborhood that I was in, but the wind was picking them up, and so the sound would be like the biggest bang right over the house, like we set it off, and it was like a little scary. So yeah, but it was fun. It was good. It was hot, but it wasn't. I didn't feel like it was like the heat wave that was all week. The heat wave was
I think it cooled down more yesterday.
But it was actually like, even though it was 90s, it was good. It was like I went swimming in the pool, and it was nice, and it was like perfect. Like it was nice, and I put some tanner on, so hopefully I'm a little tan.
Is that the pink lily one we got?
It's not.
I haven't tried that yet, but
I wanted to kind of do like
I think we mentioned CMA Fest. They gave us little goodie bags for being ambassadors when we went to their pop-up, and it had like a self-tanner thing.
But I keep forgetting
I've been using their lip gloss though, so that, not like now, but like for shows I've put it on a couple times, and it's nice because it's like a I feel like it moisturizes too, so you don't have to put on like chapstick or anything. It's kind of all in one of the color and the moisturizing aspect. So yeah.
Asher.
What?
Party boy.
Okay.
Oh my god, sorry. No, I haven't. I want to do like go through the goodie bag with me and then like do a self tanner review, because I was but this one is the Saint Tropez one. I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Is that Saint-Tropez?
I assume that's what it is.
I'm trying to think of how Taylor says it in The Man.
No, it is Saint-Tropez, but I didn't know if it was like the brand was the same thing as the country island. I don't know what it is. Anyways, so I used to have one, and it smelled terrible, and it didn't really do much. And so I got a different bottle of it this time, and I don't know what's different about it, but it smells so good, and it like really worked. I was like, wow, I'm like actually tan. So anything new? Hopefully you guys liked our new music. We kind of have new music-esque things today, not really like music reviews of sorts. So Billboard released their top 50 2026 albums so far. It was staff picks, so like but we kind of talk about like, is there anything else before we dive in here?
My song's out now.
Yes.
So Nothing Right is out everywhere. And
oh yeah, how was rollout with it? Like anything that you learned?
So the only thing about doing it the day before the 4th that I didn't think of until like the day of, because I do have like a press release campaign, which, I mean, sometimes it probably takes time for people to read the email and stuff, but I was like, wait, no one's working on the 3rd because that's like the day people get off, since the 4th is a Saturday. So I don't know if that's gonna affect anything as far as like press release, like people getting back to calling with Anchor Publicity, who we'll eventually have on here, by the way, but like getting back to her with like responding to what she sent out on Friday, if they'll respond Monday, or if that might just like get buried in emails because of the timing of it. So I'm a little worried about that, but I mean, I think it's going fine so far. I have a playlist company that got me on some playlists and stuff, so still waiting to see numbers with that, but so far it's going well.
Good.
So
good. Okay.
Yeah,
now
we're gonna go into the topic.
So I just thought we could. Okay, so for your sake, not podcast sake, I think I was only gonna. Oh, so okay, hold on. So they did top 50, but we're not gonna go through all 50 here, obviously.
That's fair.
Especially because I don't know if Katie and I even know half of these, to be honest. And so in their top 20, because we had been talking about like what we think maybe Grammy noms or like things of that nature. So I figured this might give a little sense of where people are thinking outside of our little bubble of the internet here, and Taylor Swift world, and who just got married.
Yeah, officiated by Adam Sandler.
That was a weird. I will say this is the first time things have like seemed a little performative in my opinion of the whole thing, but I think just let her be happy, stop making accusations that she's in a secret relationship, let her come out with that if she wants to, but I don't think it is. I think they're actually just sweet and in love, and I think we just need to accept it and move on. I think we need to move on from it and stop making it such a big deal. Like, it was cute. I think she finally got her happy ending, and like that's great. I think too, with Travis being who he is, I think this is the first time. I think she's gone for a lot of pretentious guys who want to be like, I want to keep it a secret, or like all these expectations. I think this is the first time she's had a relationship where she can just live, and if that's out loud, if that's in like, she can do that without feeling judged by her partner and feeling like she has to hide because it's what we want and it's romantic when it's maybe not really what she wants. And so I think, while I think Madison Square Garden sounds like a boring ass venue to be in.
I mean, there's been like a couple leaks of what was inside, and I think they basically like completely transformed the inside into more of like a wedding venue garden-esque thing.
If you have all the money,
I think it was because of security.
Yeah, I just
like they have the capability of having the amount of security that the like people of that caliber of fame like need in order to have a private ceremony.
I just think
they would have like helicopters, they would have so many people, like if word got out of like a private beach or something, they would
Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber got married so secretively and they were able to do it out in California. I just think
who cares about them that much?
I think a lot of people care about them that much. I just think it would have just been like much better to be flown somewhere and like have a nice thing, but
I don't know.
She also invited a lot lot of people.
Yeah, so it was a good size for the amount of people that she had there. And I know that people are giving her a lot of hate, but no hate to Travis, as if it's all her. But so
yeah,
like,
that's why I think too with all of this, they're like, oh, she's out, but I think this is the first time she's been able to shout from the rooftops that she is who she is and she is rich, and you know what, then fine, do it. Like I think people, again, that's why I'm just like, I think we need to like let it go and move on from things like, a little bit.
Hating that it was like a holiday weekend because allegedly that affects things, but then like people were like that's one of the slowest weekends in Manhattan because everyone leaves town. So I was like,
It's actually
stop judging when
fair,
you don't know the facts.
And it's not like she did it in the middle of DC when they're trying to do all of the things that they're doing. Like, I think it honestly wasn't a big deal as much.
Also, the level of security is like the same as any Knicks game and things like that, like other events there. So I don't know why people were acting like this is like.
I'm like, the Met Gala shuts
a bigger
down
inconvenience.
That area all the time. Like, what are you like? So what? No, I think. I am surprised with who got invited, like, country music wise. Marin, I
love that they all had a bus together.
That was so cute. I was like, okay, Kelsey, but like Maren Morris, Little Big Town. I was like, I just didn't think
Christian
she was
Bush.
that close with all of them, but I guess it makes sense.
Well, yeah, because I don't know if Jennifer Nettles just couldn't make it, but I saw Christian Bush was on there from Sugarland, and then Little Big Town. I'm like, those are her two cuts of like.
That's fair.
Kelsey and Marin and Miranda was kind of a little random.
Miranda was surprising. I was surprised Somber was invited, they came up together, even though she likes him. But again, he's so brand new that I'm like, why is this man being invited to your special events?
Brad Paisley and Kimberly Williams Paisley were there, but I guess they just weren't on the bus with the other
I saw them and they were happy. And I think, I guarantee you the donations and stuff that they made were probably their gifts instead of like actual gifts.
Yeah, in lieu of gifts.
Which was so
nice.
I
think it was to 20 places and $26 million, so it was like 2026.
That's cute.
Also, someone had like 7 and 3 for July 3rd is 10, and then 2 of them, 10 times 10 is 100. Keep it 100 because 13 plus 87 is 100. Yeah, I was like, is that where we're getting the math? Because it doesn't add to 13. So I was like, I don't know what we're doing for math also, here with her numerology.
Everyone is like making it this big thing, like, oh, it's Easter eggs and all this. She literally just got married, and like,
she's not trying to do new music right now.
Breathe and accept she just got married.
But I guess she did. She. I guess allegedly walked down the aisle to one of her songs, like an instrumental version, and everyone's like, I did a Taylor Swift wedding and Taylor's doing a Taylor Swift wedding. It was like, okay. I want to know which song though.
Yeah.
If it was Love Story.
I didn't see Sabrina. Seems like it was supposed to be Fairy Tale. She was there, but like I didn't see her pictures yet.
I'm just curious of like
Marin's is who I saw the most. I could see
Tim and Faith being invited. I know Tim had to be here for his 4th of July performance, but so was you Marin. Could also like
Marin flew after the wedding to perform at the 250 in DC.
So I'm like, was Tim and Faith there? Like, yeah.
Anyways, not to get on the soapbox because again, we're also trying to perpetuate it's a thing. We move on. So, anyways, so the top 20 of Billboard's picks. Number 20 was Jalen Josie, Serial Romantic. So the thumping bass of Detroit ghetto tech vocal aerobatics of 90s gospel and R&B and the innate whimsy of musical theater arrangements shouldn't go together so seamlessly, but Jalen Josie makes it work somehow. The ascendant R&B singer-songwriter's major label debut album, Serial Romantic, expertly synthesizes her myriad influences into one sleek portrait of a young woman's refusal to give up on love. Executive produced by the 3-time Grammy winner Tricky Stewart, Serial tempers its genre-bending moments. New girl freak with traditional radio-ready R&B sing-alongs like Love Ain't Shit and Lose Somebody, ensuring there's something for every type of listener on the succinct 13-track LP. So I like the arrangements. I think it's fun. It adds a lot of like fun techno things. This looks like it's her 3rd album that she's ever put out. Okay. So it's a first major label debut. So I'll give you a little more background. So one of the most exciting rising voices in music right now, Jalen Josie weaves vibrant, vulnerable patchwork of sounds and experiences together in her music. All kinds of romantic happenings and mishappenings replay across a soundscape steeped in styles of hip-hop, R&B, Detroit house, and even musical theater. This kaleidoscope of sounds project, her personality out loud, not only has a talented musician, but as a confident woman, impassioned poet, and visionary creator. She comes from shining on Broadway as Pearl in the SpongeBob musical Live on Stage, to signing with Sony Music Publishing, to now launching a successful solo career. She sharpened an incomparable signature style on Illusions EP 2020, the Southern Delicacy EP in 2023, and has emerged as an in-demand songwriter, penning songs on Ari Lennox's Age, Sex, Location, including Certified Platinum Pressure, and working with the likes of Wyclef Jean, Babyface, and more. Moreover, she is one of Spotify's 2026's artists to watch and has received acclaim from Billboard, Vibe, MEM, Essence, Oak Player, and more. Now she seamlessly wraps up all her emotions and experiences into one cohesive body of work on her major label debut with Def Jam Records. So, what did you think?
I feel like her, like the vocal tone she has is very similar to Beyonce's.
Yeah, it definitely lends that R&B sound for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We listened to New Girl. I don't know if we mentioned which one we went to listen to. Very catchy hook there. And I also just back to the vocal of like there was like a run down to like a very low note, and that was like a very pretty like tone with the low notes as well.
Yeah, definitely. So. I mean, coming from Broadway, and like it didn't sound Broadway though. I think some people have a problem with crossing over from Broadway, and like I think Idina Menzel gets very classified in that Broadway, like that is her, and like even when she tries to do her pop stuff, it can kind of not cross over the way that she wants it to. So okay, number 19 is Ice Age. For Love of Grace and the Hereafter. So Ice Age's earliest albums absolutely ripped the young Danes cranking out energy punk with goth undertones that took listeners on a thrilling, foreboding ride. Somewhere around album 3, the band discovered that slowing things down didn't mean letting up, and Ice Age continues to play with tempo on its raw, melodic 6th album, its first in 5 years. Thematically, we're dealing with love's more volatile bits here, something tender but aggressive, the kind of romance that roughs up your heart and perhaps bites your face, as Elias Ronefelt sings on No Fear. I love you in an ominous way, he confesses on album opener Ember, perfectly establishing the narrative of pleasure and pain.
Okay.
So, Ice Age, For Love and Hereafter.
Just think of the movie.
I know. Yeah, I wouldn't get over that being my band name. Okay, let's do the opener because I'm not gonna lie, not our cup of tea there.
I was really struggling to understand what was happening.
Words, I'm not gonna lie.
I think
the
it's the
mixing,
accent.
It's the accent and the mixing. It's just it does sound very old school 90s basement grungy kind of punky to me.
Also, that's not how you pronounce ominous, and I was like, I'm out now.
Yeah, not Katie and I's cup of tea. Sorry about that, Ice Age. Number 18 is Holly Humberstone, Cruel World. It's easy to understand why Taylor Swift picked Humberstone as an Eras tour opener. The British singer-songwriter's emotionally raw, ultra-specific writing and immaculately produced pop melodies feel like a close descendant of her own. Cruel World is packed with the kind of vulnerability and writerly detail Humberstone is known for, but feels like her most polished and deep artistic statement yet. A truly no-skips record, ranging from romantic, dance floor-ready bangers to Somebody to Love, to quietly heartbreaking ballads make it all better. Anchored by Humberstone's heart-on-sleeve vocals. So let's listen to Love Somebody. I've heard of Holly before. She was not one of our tour openers.
Right.
On the Eras tour. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, like the to love somebody.
Push the
chorus was to love somebody, to hurt somebody, to know somebody, is to know that you're human.
Yeah.
Like that was a great little
I could
hook.
see that being performed as an opener in a stadium setting.
Yeah.
So
I could see it very easily at any club here in Nashville, like from Exit In to Marathon, and like having like everyone dancing and like being like that would be so fun. This is the first time I've really listened to Holly, to be honest. Like, I know I wasn't a big fan of, I'm not a huge fan of some of her, like, slower stuff just because it's never in, like, the vein that, like, I want to be listening to, you know, like that singer-songwriter kind of style. But, like, that was fun. Like, I definitely would put it with like a lot of my other stuff when I'm in those kinds of moods. Again, we're opening ourselves up to new music as well. Things that we don't normally speak about on this podcast, I feel like.
Very Nashville specific.
Yeah. Hilary Duff, Luck or Something. The incredible momentum Hilary Duff developed in late 2025 with the well-received comeback single Mature and a handful of successful return gigs could have easily carried her through 2026. Even if Luck or Something, her first album in 11 years, had coasted off that goodwill, instead, Duff came with one of the most deeply felt, incisive, quietly devastating, and yet still kind of life-affirming pop albums of the early year. One that captures growing up in a way that Blink-182 never could have understood in their early 20s. Written with real-life husband Matt Coma, who also co-produced, the set achieves a unique intimacy and near uncomfortable vulnerability, while still always landing like capital P pop music. A combination that gives Lost in Reality ruminations like future tripping and adult-sized medium, a nuclear-grade emotional potency. Have you listened to Hilary Duff's new album?
I listened to Mature. Don't think I listened to anything else, and I don't really remember Mature because it was a while ago, but I mean, I don't feel like it was anything like groundbreaking or like... I didn't really listen to her to begin with too much. I was
not a huge Hilary Duff fan.
Other than like
my friends were.
The big ones.
Yeah. So. My friends were more into her whole discography. I was like into the bigger ones. But like I was definitely more the Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus than I was.
And Hilary was Duff. Like one generation separated, I feel like, Disney Channel wise. Like I feel like Lizzie McGuire was like, it's just one touch older than like the Hannah Montana.
I mean, I watched it and everything.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't remember it that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I remember the movie, but that's not as much the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing with the Hilary Duff album is there are lines in it that just make me cringe. Like, I have listened to it. And it's like, I can get really into it. And then there's like always just one line that makes me just cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I wish her all the success. And I know a lot of people are like living for this era. Mm-hmm. And even the dancing, doing the old cringy dancing on stage is like a whole moment and stuff. It makes me cringe. And I'm sorry. I just can't get over it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's not my cup of tea.
It's very pop. It's very her. It feels like we're reminiscing on the old, like, it's still very much in touch with who she is.
Right.
Next is Hemlock Springs, The Apple Under the Sea, which, look at that photo.
Oh.
Very interesting, right? Elasticity of Hemlock Springs' mastermind voice has always been wonderfully disruptive. Whether she's doubling down on a sweet tooth hook, puncturing a verse with a shrill cry, or gliding through a sensual melisma, Uda's tone demands attention instead of blending into playlists. And with debut album The Apple Tree Under the Sea, she has released a collection of songs that match the beguiling personality of her voice, barreling through slam dunk anthems, Be the Girl, The Beginning of the End, and linguistic frolics, Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Ankles, Serve the Blight, with a self-assuredness and songwriting penchant that deserves to shake the pop world awake.
Okay.
Those are a lot of very unique descriptors there. So, The Apple Under the Sea. Okay. Should we listen to Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Ankles? You should see the track list is quite something. It's very experimental pop. Mm-hmm. Giving some background is songwriter Hemlock Springs has a recognizably raspy voice and quirky, unpolished approach to 80s-inspired synthesizer pop.
I was going to say 80s.
Both of which helped her to go viral with her first self-released songs. After her debut single, Gimme All Your Love crossed the million streams mark within a week of its release in 2022, she had an even bigger viral hit with the apprehension anthem Girlfriend later the same year. A medical student at the time, she quickly followed the success of Girlfriend with songs including 2023's Stranger Danger that doubled down on dark new wave post-punk inspirations. She released her debut EP Going Going Gone before the end of the year. Her whimsically full-length debut, 2026's The Apple Under the Sea, was written and recorded with Burns in the traditional artists like Childish Gambino, Post Malone, and Jay Som. Insimia Naomi Udu used a random name generator to create her musical alias Hemlock Springs, changing Hemlock to Hemlock, it's just spelled with an E at the end, as a tribute to Lorde. Oh, okay. During her years as a college student, I can hear the Lorde inspiration for sure. She has like that pop 2000s aesthetic, like look-wise, that Kate kind of brings out with like the graphic designing kind of thing, Kate Cosentino. Definitely not Katie Denai's cup of tea.
I think there was a mixing thing too with that first one where it was like her vocal needs to be turned up more in the mix because again I was like I can't understand what's going on. But I think it was just because her vocal was too quiet.
She writes with Burns, who is a co-writer with people like Lady Gaga and Charlie XCX. So very much in that world of like experimental pop. Yeah. So if you like something that's very out of the norm, this honestly feels more theater-esque in nature of like her tone is very different. Almost character-esque, actor-esque in nature, it sounds a little bit like not that she's putting on a voice, but just like very unique in that sense of like being able to manipulate your voice in a different way. And like I said, very like 2000s graphics of like her album artwork is like hand drawn, it looks like. So very different, very unique, for sure. So if you like stuff like that, go check that out. Okay. Harry Styles, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. As his reported visits to Berlin Mega Club Berghain, and recent live sampling of Underworld attest, Harry Styles is a recent convert to rave culture, and his fourth studio album unpacks the awe, wonder, and occasional dissociation accompanying this new venture. Poised between escapism and self-examination, it welcomes moments of total uncertainty and offers tender, melancholy encouragement to reckon with one's life choices. Season 2 Weight Loss, one of Styles' most affecting songs to date, is all soft vocal tracks and hushed ambiance, proving that his record works its magic of sleight of hand. I love this album. I love that it is in the top 20. I wished it was in the top 10 personally because I still think it's going to be big Grammy contender. I think it really unpacks a lot. I think this honestly, it is like such a great mix of like fun dance songs like that you're listening to with songs like DJs Don't Dance No More and Are You Listening Yet and all of that stuff, and it's fun. But it also, like, if you really listen to the words, like Are You Listening Yet is actually like very much a take on like, are you listening to yourself? Are you listening to the world around you? Or are you just like mindlessly going through the motions? Season 2 Weight Loss was another one that was like very different and very like I'll play you a little of that one. Okay. But talks about like, and then he has songs on there that talk about grief, and it's just like very different. So like those lyrics of like, do you love me now? Like, do you accept like what I've done? Like kind of speaking to like his fans and stuff of like him trying to be everything to everyone else and like again not himself. It's a great album. I love it. Grace Ives, Girlfriend. Grace Ives' song flit from music box whimsy on Now I'm to booming melodrama in Avalanche to swelling ballad with a beat in Fire 2, and that's only in the first 3 tracks of her latest alt-pop epic, Girlfriend. Produced by Ariel Rechenstein and John DeBold, Girlfriend is moody and powerful, as heart on its sleeve as it is self-reflective. Ives probably could knock you over with her alto if she wanted to, but she more often reins it in, singing with a quiet intensity that makes her sound a little sultry, a little seductive, and extremely cool. The native New Yorker sobered up and defected to LA in recent years, but when she came back to play Music Hall of Williamsburg in May and sang "I Used to Run This Town," she undoubtedly meant it. Honestly, I feel like her songs could be very, like, both songs, like, in their own different ways, could be, like, I see it in a movie or in a TV show, like, very, like, cinema based,
cinematic,
very, for some reason. Like, I was just like, I could see this in the background of something. Oh, wait, I messed up. Okay, and then just to give you some background on her, Grace Ives was never pursued music in the traditional sense like many of her peers. Instead, it followed her like a common thread that connected her various dwellings over the past few years. Whether living in Brooklyn with her parents or in Baltimore while briefly studying at MICA, or the 3 years following at SUNY Purchase, Grace made music irrespective of setting or ambition. She made pop songs inspired by the sounds of Britney Spears and Rihanna while surrounded by punk-er friends in Maryland. Bought and MC 505 to emulate the sound of MIA while surrounded by guitar noodling when the cult of Mystique still loomed large over the SUNY Purchase campus, and opened so many shows to audiences of one, maybe two, that she cannot even think to count. But along the way, she won people over almost literally one by one until audiences began to grow in number. Now living in Queens, Ives regularly leaves home with a blue IKEA bag full of her musical equipment to play shows all over the metro area to audiences of increasingly instable fans. My goodness. I don't get the punk vibes as much. No. Like, some of her lyrics were a bit intense, and, like, she does have a very intense kind of sound, but it's very poppy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very punky, but that's just... Okay. Fuckers. Oh. Fuckers formed just 4 years ago, but quickly built an impressive resume, opening for gigs for Harry Styles and Tame Impala, a collaboration with LCD Sound Systems. James Murphy co-signs from the likes of Billie Eilish and Charli XCX. But what the New York duo didn't have was an album, and its debut, O, delivers on the early hype and then some across its tight, thrilling 29 minutes. O updates DFA Records' gold age for the post-Brat era with sleazy dance punk tracks, LUCKY, barreling drum and bass, Play Me, and mesmerizing UK garage. If you want a party, come over to my house, and hazy dub. TTYGF, coexisting naturally like the best DJ sets. Ella Langley, Dandelion.
There we go.
Bolstered by a career-defining hit, The Bittersweet Shoes in Texas, which has spent 10 non-consecutive weeks at number one on the Hot 100. 11. Langley's second full-length album debuted at number one on the Billboard 200. The set showcases the Alabama native's emotionally husky vocals and considerable songwriting chops, further establishing her as a country star who embraces tradition and modern in equal measure. Modernity. Anyways. Aided by executive producer and mentor Miranda Lambert, Langley viscerally explores jealousy on country airplay number one, Be Her, which would also have been a Hot 100 number one had it not gotten stuck behind Texas, as well as longing on Something Simple and transitions on Butterfly Season, also featuring Lambert. We've loved this album. I still love this album. Yes. I forget how good. I'm like, oh yeah, it has a couple good songs. And I'm like, no, that song's good. That song's good. And I'm like, it's just so good.
If not all genre, at least country. I feel like strong contender for country album for Grammys and obviously CMA ACMs as well.
Absolutely. So. If it doesn't, something's wrong.
Right.
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong.
Also, have you heard? I did not know. I don't know if she got a vocal coach or if she just, like, came into a different... Like, I don't know what is going on with her tones, but I heard old covers of her singing.
Mm-hmm. No, I've seen so many, it's so this was her before Bangs, and, like, her look is different, obviously, but vocal-wise, too, is, like, a different person.
It seems more like she's being herself now, and it seems like that used to be, like,
she's just trying to fit in.
Choir or, like... influenced from, like, either musical theater and high school kinds of sounds.
Fit in the sense of, like, trying to do what everyone else is doing in order to be successful type of thing.
I wonder how much of that is, like, she has to, like, think about it, or if it's, like, no, that is just how she does normally sing, and the other one was a lot more effort. Like, I would just want to know, like, what she does to, like, make that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in the top 10 now. 10 is Durad Bernard and his self-titled Bernard album.
Okay.
Named for his sound engineering father, this album was originally envisioned as a deluxe edition of Bernard's last studio album, Bloom, the 2025 funk R&B release that garnered the artist's first Grammy for Best Progressive R&B Album. But as he recently told Billboard, 7 additional songs morphed into 17, intertwining his R&B soul gospel roots with splashy flourishes of yacht rock, P-funk, house, and Miami bass. Joining Bernard on the exhilarating ride, a who's who of producers, including Raphael Saadiq, Brian Michael Cox, and James Fonterlery. Simply put, hearing is believing. Bernard, an opener on Kalani's upcoming tour, is here to stay. Very funky, very much in that Leon Bridges, very, like, soulful vocals, very Usher, early Usher-esque. But yeah, that is fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be listening to like, get this on, but, like, right. Yeah. Okay, Drake, Iceman. I'm very surprised that critics are loving, because I hadn't heard anything good about any of those 3 albums, to be honest. So, after hip-hop pursuits tried to diminish his legacy, Drake's Iceman blitzed the charts and froze his advisories upon release. His chilly, villainous raps fueled the 18-track mission as he beheads fair-weather friends and former lovers on Make Them Cry, while reminding listeners he can thrive in any city on records like Ran to Atlanta and Too Hard for the Radio. Long known for extending second and third chances throughout his career, Drake is no longer the wide-eyed 20-something navigating the industry through optimism alone. With Iceman, he completes his long-awaited evolution and coronation from the boy to the man.
Okay.
I just can't get around that, but you know what? That's fine. I think it'll probably be some kind of contender for things just because it's Drake.
Just because it's him, yeah.
It's going to put the name, sure, but, like, I just personally think there's better music than his out in that realm. I mean, I think Kendrick made that very clear. Yeah. I just don't get it. I think he's well overdone, and I don't think anything has really come out of this album, like, nothing groundbreaking, but that's just me. We're not going to listen to him.
I don't have thoughts.
Don Toliver, Octane. Despite high-profile release from J. Cole, Ye, and at A$AP Rocky in 2026, it's Don Toliver's Octane that remains perched atop rap's hierarchy for the year. Toliver's penchant for theatrics and intoxicating melody powers Octane to the moon. E85 is a sugar bomb littered with scenic production and gummy lyrics, while Body is a sleek makeover of a Justin Timberlake classic. Even when paired with big-name buddies like Travis Scott on Rosary and Rima on Second Hand and Yeet on Rendezvous, Toliver remains the unquestioned star of the majestic thriller of an album. Very interesting. Okay. Chino y Nacho, Radio Venezuela. Infused with the vibrant spirit of the Caribbean and true to Chino y Nacho's signature style, vivid merengue, and soaring trumpets, this album is more than a musical legacy. It is a joyful miracle that brings together a new wave of Venezuelan talent, with guest artists including Danny Ocean, Elena Rose, Maui Ricky, Lasso, and Josequina. Radio Venezuela shines as a heartfelt celebration of unwavering friendship, capturing not only the camaraderie amongst the artists, but also the inspiring journey of real brotherhood. It sounds very happy.
Yeah.
So very vibrant. Yes, I would say vibrant. I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, though. So.
I don't speak it well enough to understand singing, if that makes sense. I have to have a visual.
Charli XCX, Wuthering Heights. After the meteoric rise of her album Brat in summer 2024, Charli XCX fans would certainly understand if the newly minted pop superstar wanted a break. But Charli refused to rest, and her resolve to release this companion album showed the longtime songwriter and artist hitting a true creative stride. On Wuthering Heights, Charli trades the self-exploration across from Brat for a focus on themes of external desire and entrapment. Much like Wuthering Heights, protagonists Kathy and Heathcliff let love drive them to madness. So does Charli XCX on the project. This is especially apparent in visceral standout songs like The Grinding House featuring John Cale and The Shimmering Chains of Love, as she likens desire to feeling like a prisoner and shattering like glass. It's brash, it's desperate, and yet somehow it feels like a fresh take on one of the most popular, if over-adapted, gothic romances of all time. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know she released a new album this year.
I don't pay much attention to her. I only knew about Brat because it was all over TikTok.
My problem with Charli XCX is I feel like her songwriting really isn't that great, but everyone else seems to think it's very deep and stuff. I will say this is the first time I felt any kind of emotion other than like fun poppy, like super synth pop, like dance music.
Like there's a different layer.
There is layers to it, so I'll give it that. Casriel and Paco Amoroso, Free Spirits. Free Spirits is exactly what the title suggests, loose, fearless, and thrillingly hard to categorize. Following the breakout success of 2025's Papota, lean all the way into their instincts for chaos, jumping between rock and Espanol, dance pop, a dash of bossa nova, and surrealist comedy without ever sounding scattered. The album's brilliance is in how naturally it holds all these contradictions at once. It's absurd and immediate, irreverent, and emotionally exposed. Even as its most playful, Free Spirits carries a pulse of real feeling, capturing two artists pushing at the edges of genre, identity, and fame in real time. Few albums this year have felt so unpredictable, fully realized, and generally a lot. Interesting. Okay.
I was like, wait, I know that. Kiro Sayer. I want to be. I got that much.
Yeah, it's a vibe for sure. Yeah, Jack Black being in that just took me out of it.
Okay.
Anyways, BTS airing. What?
I don't know.
Okay. The results
can't help you.
BTS's long anticipated return from hiatus with the septet's first new album in over half a decade speak for themselves. 3 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 200, including a historic 641,000 units moved in the set's first week. But the album itself spoke pretty loudly as well, as it demonstrated both the group's maintained hit-making capabilities with stadium-sized anthems like Body to Body and Hooligan, as well as some new musical interests picked up by the 7 members in their off time, with alt-leaning sonic edges and enhanced musical sophistication on tracks like Animals and Swooning Closer into the Sun, and beautifully splitting the difference. Album Fulcrum and lead single Swim, an immediate Billboard Hot 100 top smash and likely future classic in the group's canon. I'm not gonna lie, I've never really been into BTS. Mm-mm. They just have never been my thing. I'm not gonna lie, I knew this song, but like, I forget that it's them. Like, it sounds like such a pop song. Like.
I mean, they are pop.
Yes.
They're K-pop?
K-pop.
K-pop. But, like, that's still pop.
Yeah.
So.
It just sounds like I just never would have guessed that, like, it was them. I don't know. I just think of, like, they're more, like, Dynamite. Like, that kind of pop sound instead of, like, this that does have that, like, sultry kind of vibe, R&B-ish vibe to it. Mm-hmm. So, it was good though.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, The Romantic. The Romantic is an apt title for Mars's 4th solo studio album, which 4 seems like
that seems
low for him.
It's been around for a while.
The revivalist would have worked just as well. Mars has been both things in equal measure since he burst on the scene in 2010. Yeah, Here, exactly. He nods to such classical 1970s sounds as Philly soul, Quiet Storm, and Latin rock. The album's first single, The Sleek I Just Might, is largely a summary of Mars's established strength, but the second, Risk It All, is a bit, riskier, with its melodramatic, ultra-romantic flourishes and mariachi accents. It's a safe bet that no one else could have made the record a hit in 2026. So I could see him being a good nom for Grammys.
Yeah.
For sure. I love the album, and I think this was like his year for like, not that he hasn't made it this whole time, but like I know a lot of people that even went to that Bridgestone concert that he had. So yeah, I just think he's very much in the forefront. I mean, I just don't think you can go wrong with the Bruno Mars song. Like, yeah, it may get overplayed and people have some issues with that, but he always has like such good album gems hidden in there as well.
Right, yeah. 4 is crazy though, because it said 2010 was when he kind of started to be more well known, and so that's 16 years and only 4 albums.
But he's also done some solo, like some side project stuff as well. So, but still 4 is still crazy. Yeah. Okay, next, Braxton Keith, Real Damn Deal. Yeah, is that what it's called?
Sure.
Okay. Part of country's newest traditionalist movement alongside Zach Top, Texas native Keith confidently incorporates elements of Western and honky-tonk on his major label debut for Warner Records Nashville, which never forgoes an inviting twang as engaging as his handlebar mustache. Charmer I Ain't Tryin' and gorgeous ballad Don't Know More easily fit in besides the hilariously jangling I Own This Bar, on which a sarcastic Keith goes toe-to-toe with boastful patrons. This album surprises me that it's this high on this list, to be honest.
Yeah, considering it's like someone who is still relatively new. Yeah because I've heard the name and it's probably just like seeing his name on playlists when I'm looking for new music, but I don't ever play it. I feel like, to me, if it's someone I don't know, the title has to like
much that it's like making me pull into him.
Like if there's a title that I'm like, what's that about, then like that's when I end up having people that I usually don't listen to that I start to be like, oh, what's this? But I feel like I've seen his name a lot on playlists and just kind of haven't done anything with it.
Yeah. Okay. Arlo Parks, Ambiguous Desire. Ambiguous Desire finds singer-songwriter Arlo Parks revealing and embracing her love for dance and electronic music. Through the skittering beats and late-night lonely synths on this album are a far cry from the organic, warm instrumentation of her debut 2021 or even the alt-pop vibes of 2023's My Soft Machine. It's her voice, literally and figuratively, that provides the essential through line to this album. On chill club tracks like Two-Sided and Go Get, Park's ethereal, emotive vocals and reflective lyricism remain at the forefront, as delicate and commanding as ever. And on standout tracks, Senses, her voice blends with samphas to tap into an almost harrowing beauty.
Second set of 2 chords sounds like Jaws. It's just throwing me off.
Okay. I love the tone of her voice, though, but yeah, I don't have, it's an album that I'd give it a listen probably. It sounded fun. Okay. Angine de Piotrine, Volume 2. Okay. When Angine de Piotrine began to gain traction after a viral Keepix live session, KEXP live session, it was no surprise that fans were suspicious. Conversations around the hidden forces behind music marketing, kickstarted by an interview on Billboard's On the Record podcast, led to accusations that psyops were responsible for these sudden pushes. How else to explain that a math rock duo from Canada dressed up in comical polka dot costumes, gibbering their own made-up language, were the name on everyone's lips? Volume 2, released in April, proved the hype was justified, and that naughty riffs, filthy grooves, and an element of intrigue can still cut through and convert even the most cynical of listeners in mass quantities. Do you want to give them a listen?
Maybe. What number are we on?
I don't know. Hold on. Oh, that's it.
Oh, that's number 1.
This is number 1.
This is number 1.
I personally do not like math rock. All respect to you. I hate the amount of craziness that can happen in a math rock song. Personally, it drives me, like, ADHD me just, like, can't take it. Like, I just can't. It's something. It's something. Uh-huh. So maybe we'll see some of these names pop up around Grammy.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we just discovered some new favorite artists. Maybe you guys should write in with your favorite undiscovered tracks that we haven't talked about.
Yes, or albums that you think should have made this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey wasn't on. Well, when was it written?
She is on it. She's in, like, the top 30 or something like that. Okay. Because I did see it, and that's why I was like, I'm not. And so I was like, maybe we'll do top 30. And she was in that little list that I was looking in.
Put her up higher.
Yeah. You know, these were staff picks. These weren't our picks. And I know people at Billboard, like, listen to music all day long, and they're open to a lot more genres than we are. I trust me, I listen to a lot of different genres, and I will give things a lot of a chance. And honestly, the best way to hook me in is if I see you live at a show, at a festival, and you, like, capture me. A lot of the people I listen to at festivals, though, I'm not always listening to in my car, I will say. Like, but I will go see you at a festival multiple times and be thrilled. Young the Giant's that way for me. Like, I love going to see them when I'm working and taking photos, and, like, their music is great live. Love their show. But they're not always what I'm throwing on in the car. You know? It's one of those weird things. But a lot of times, So, maybe, hopefully this was interesting. I just thought it would be something a little different.
Something different.
The other option we had for an episode was to celebrate 250 of America, of, like, what like makes
American music.
So if you guys would like to see that episode,
we could still do that.
Leave a comment below.
Not too late.
Hopefully this episode isn't insanely long after I edit it. What is the time already on it?
1:15?
Yeah, it should be around like our normal length episode.
It should be. If there's any that you thought should make the list, or if you have opinions on the ones that are on the list and all that stuff, go ahead and just drop it in the comments below.
How many did you guys know? Like, did you know that whole list? Were we the weird ones out of the loop here? Like, I can't imagine that with what people listen to nowadays. Like, I'm sure we're not alone there.
You could also send it to our email at themusiclenspodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on socials at The Music Lens Podcast. Follow Alex at Alex Allegra Music, and follow myself at Katie Fee Music, and we will see you next time.
And go listen to Katie's song.
Yes, do that. Yes. Add it to your playlist.
Yes. Bye.